Okay, so structure. First, head upright. Head is up. Okay, now you can begin dropping the mind through the body. Drop the mind through the head. You must feel the eyes, around the cheekbones, around the jaw. The jaw must soften. And then the neck, down to the base of the neck. From the base of the neck, there's a feeling of dropping down through the spine. But this is a mental dropping, not a physical movement. So keep it internal. Shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists, wrists to hands, hands to the tips of the fingers. Okay, and then relaxing the chest. So no tension in the chest. The chest, normally when it's up, it feels like it's up here, it's pointing up. Okay, you want to feel, okay, just dropping down. When the chest drops down, you'll feel your thighs more, and you'll feel a connection to your hips. So this part here, so the shoulders, connected to the hips. The hips must be open. If we turn when the hips are open, see the knee doesn't move. Yeah, so your knee doesn't move. Okay, and then you come back. And then you try on the other side, make sure the hip is open. Turn as much as you can. And then turn back. So when you're turning from the waist, in Tai Chi we turn from the hips and from the waist at the same time. But the quad must be open when you do that. And eventually you'll develop the knee not collapsing in posture. Okay, so we relax the chest, shoulders into hips. Okay, and now from the hips, feel the connection down through your body. So notice that when your chest relaxes, you then have to drop the tail. When you drop the tail, the pelvis is neutral. Okay, and then you'll start to notice things inside your body, like you'll start to notice where the weight is on your feet. If your tail isn't dropped, and it's still kind of upright and you're still kind of upright, your weight will be more on the ball of your foot. When you start to drop your tail, just naturally downwards, you'll feel the weight distribute through your legs. You'll feel where the weight is in relation to your body on top of your torso. So the weight of your torso should drop through the center part of your feet, like the arch of your foot. Yeah, once you start getting that feeling right, again, we're not sinking down, we're allowing gravity to take everything. We must have the knees soft. The knees can't be locked in any way. If the knees are locked in any way, there'll be pain. Yeah, so if the hips are open and everything is sunk down, again, when we try and turn, if we try and turn just a little way, so the shoulder joins with the hip on the diagonal. And then we change on the other side, and the shoulder joins with the hip on the diagonal. To separate yin and yang, if we press on the left foot, the right hand comes out. The right hand uses the power of the left foot. And then if you press on the other foot uses the power from the opposite foot. Yeah, so we never have the power going through the same side, yeah, this one and this one, until later on, until we've learned how to relax the body down to the feet. Okay, and that's just feeling through your body, down to the knees. Okay, so the knees should not feel like they're compressed. Yeah, the knees should feel slightly open. The backs of the knees should feel slightly closed. And then we get to the ankles and the calves. The ankles and the calves should feel soft. Yeah, they shouldn't feel hard at all. They shouldn't feel like there's lots of pressure coming through them. The pressure should be able to drop through your body, through your waist, through your hips, through your knees, through your ankles and your calves, and into your feet. And then once you can feel your feet on the ground, then we have to take the step one part further and allow the mind to sink into the ground itself. And this is where the rooting begins and where your real kind of Tai Chi journey goes. And this is when we use our standing postures. So the first of the standing postures. We keep everything upright and we're sinking down through the feet. But our mind is as deep underneath your feet as you can get it. Yeah, in olden times, or ancient China, they used to stand on blocks, just balance on these very thin blocks, and then that was their rooting. They would root down. Or, you know, those Japanese kind of slippers that have like the holes in them, they're quite high. That was another technique that they used to use. Master Hong Shen Shian, or Wang Shen Xie, he used that technique. He's always wearing these very high Japanese style sandals, and they just allow the feet to sink and then the mind to drop further underneath the ground. So he's actually feeling his root. So when you feel your root and when you're connected to the ground, when you turn and the hips are open as well, then the knee will not move. Knee will not move. Okay. And then we don't worry about any of that. Keeping the elbows drop down. Okay, rolling your wrists. To try and do that every time you start a class or every time you get up, start to make it your mission to ground yourself. Yeah, grounding yourself into heaven and into earth, or into the sky and into the ground. Okay, and then lengthen. So even with lengthening, we just feel the connection to the floor. We're moving from side to side. And just feel what your body's doing. So rooting is one of the most misunderstood conceptions out there, especially by Western people. And the term song and fan song, these are also very misunderstood as well. Your body must be elastic, or must become elastic. Okay, strengthening by stretching. So even when we stretch, there is a counter force. As we stretch forwards, we're pushing back. So the spine goes out a little bit, and this helps to hollow the chest. That's it. And we always maintain the open joint, never flexing the joint too much. Whether we're doing Qigong or Tai Chi, stretching it up. And 2. And 3. Drop down. I do up one of my buttons. Okay, and then down. So when we come down, there's a feeling of being drawn backwards. And 2. And 3. Okay, good. See, elbows drop down. Okay, now follow the mind from scapula, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers, tips of fingers beyond your hands. Beyond your hands is something new. This is the state of no mind. This is where we want to get to. When we train all the other things, we get to the state of no mind, and we can hold the positions for longer. The chi flow in the body is uninterrupted because we're not involved in the process. And again, even here, the elbows are loose, the shoulders are open, the spine feels like it's stretching open. With the spine stretching open, you'll feel another element to the practice. So from spine, so the area of the spine that's open is where the Ling Tai point is. Ling Tai would be right in the center between the base of your shoulder blades, like the very bottom of your shoulder blades. Okay, and then relax. Hopefully you're already relaxing, but just the concept. Okay, and then now we bring to another concept in Tai Chi of this opening and closing, or inflation and deflation. As we exhale, we expand. As we inhale, we compress, deflate, but also at the same time, we're bringing fresh energy into the body. Exhale, open, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And here you might feel a slight rising of the feet, and then as you exhale, there'll be a slight descending of the body into the floor, into the root. As we press on the root, the body will rise and you'll feel it in your hands. And then as you exhale, you'll sink and you'll feel everything come out. Another part of this is as you inhale, you want to inflate the abdomen. As you exhale, you want to keep the air in the abdomen so that you're forcing the energy, the chi, through the arms and through the legs. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So this, when we sink without collapsing the structure, this is called Chen. This means to let go. So you're letting go downwards. Pressing on the feet, letting go downwards. Keeping the head up, keeping the tail down, trying to keep all of those things in place that we had in the beginning anyway. And just go slow. Okay, good. And then just bringing the hands. Okay, resting the hands down. Our next concept is breathing in through the body. Okay, so we have connection up. So we have heaven, man, earth, or heaven, woman, earth. Okay, now we have the connection to the ground. And as we lift the arms in any way from the forearms and just the hands. Have a feeling of the pressure rising from the ground, from deep underneath the ground, in through the feet, coming up on the inward breath into the lower dantian or into the abdomen area so that the abdomen expands. And then as you exhale and release downwards, that same pressure drops back down your legs into your feet. Okay, I'm going to give that a go. So this is called 4 or 5 gate breathing. So the 4 gates are the bottoms of your feet, right in the center of the bottom of your feet, right in the center of your palm, and then this one on the top of the head, and then the high yin, which is between the legs. So like lifting the perineum. I'm going to say lifting the perineum as you breathe in. There's a very light feeling of pulling slightly up with the bottom cheeks, if you like. And then as you exhale, you release. As you inhale, expand. As you exhale, release. Yeah, so a very slight lifting. Okay, so we begin. Fingers just open. Don't lock the fingers. So nothing is locked in the body, everything is loose. Okay, inhale. Lift the hands, lift the forearm, and then exhale back down again. So this is where your mind has to be, in your feet, in the ground, feet, knees, hips, abdomen, and then back down again. And 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 1 more. Good, pause. You can do that on sitting down as well. In fact, it's a lot easier sometimes sitting down, doing that first one, then you can feel the energy rising up your legs with your intention, or with your E, with your mind and intention. Okay, then the next one, in through the hands, in through the feet. So the energy is going to travel in through the hands, in through the feet. So when it comes in through the hands, it's coming in through here and down through here. At the same time, the energy is coming up the legs into the dantian. Okay, so give that one a try, and then count the first one. And 2. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 1 more. When we're lifting the arms up, it's imperative that you stay relaxed counter-gravity force, then comes up through your body and back down again. Your mind, also just keep your mind very still. You don't want your mind to be jumping from thing to thing to thing. You just want to stay calm. Okay, and then our last part of this, which is in through the hands, in through the feet, in through the head. So in through 100 meetings, Chinese called Bahwei. Another point inside the head, which is really important, is the very center, which is called Niwan. Niwan is like turning the ignition in your car and getting the spark. If you can focus on Niwan as you're breathing in, so the center of the head, center of the palms, center of the feet, and then bring the energy from the head, from the hands, from the feet into the center, all at the same time. So it takes a little bit of practice. You can practice one thing at a time, you know, just one thing, maybe 20 or 30 times, and then do that for a week, and then go on to the next thing, practice that for a week, next thing, practice that for a week, and then you just train yourself like that. And then when you feel you want to add more to your practice, then you can. Okay, so this one in through the feet, hands, and through the head at the same time. Okay, go. Just think of the top of the head as drawing in the energy of heaven. Feet, the energy is in two parts, becomes one part. Same with the arms, two parts, one part. Head is just one part. Here, there's a definite lifting of the perineum. Don't squeeze too tight, okay? Just like a Kegel exercise, you just want to lightly contract the muscle and then release. Okay, go, inhale. Exhale. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 9. And one more. Good, okay. Notice that your body may, start to feel a little bit fatigued if you're constantly allowing your body to sink down. This is just a time thing. After a while, you'll notice when your knees are too bent. You'll notice when your posture starts to collapse, and you'll keep your body more upright. But by training that structure, you get used to that structure. Once you're used to the structure, you don't have to think about it so much. But everything is always a work in progress. So, moving your legs a little bit now, especially if they feel a little bit stiff, or if your knees feel like they're a little bit stiff. Okay, rubbing your hands. kidneys. So here we want to just bend forwards a little bit. And we just want to tap the kidney area with cupped hands. Okay, and then rub your kidneys. Okay, and then circle the hips. Make sure you're doing big circles. Make sure your hips and your waist are moving. That's it. About 9 times in both directions. So again, this has 2 phases. There's a phase where you're just kind of moving and not focusing on the breath, and then there will be a phase where you're actually focusing on the breath. Change direction. Think of everything as having like a certain level of mastery. Yeah, once you can do this without being distracted, that's your first level. And then you do it with your breath. And then say like the last level that you learn is going to be, you're doing all of those things, you're not being distracted. Yeah, it comes naturally. It's not forced in any way. Just like when you sleep, you breathe. You know, the breathing is important, but the breathing happens naturally. Sometimes we'll breathe in and we'll control the breath in that way. If you want to increase your breathing capacity, then it's best to like follow a technique where you're breathing in. So you take a long, deep inward breath, hold, for as long as you physically can, and then exhale. In through the nose, out through the nose usually. There are some techniques that don't use this method. So they use a method where you'll be sitting down, you'll be almost hyperventilating. So one breath, say you're going for about 30 breaths, okay? And then you would exhale completely. So all of the breath leaves your body. This is just an example. All your breath leaves your body. You then hold your breath for as long as you can and just focus on the internal aspect of your body, just focusing on the inside. If you can reach 30 seconds, great. If you can reach a minute, then brilliant. If you can reach longer than that, then you're doing really, really well. And then you take a deep breath inwards, you hold for 15 seconds, and then you return to that almost hyperventilating breath. We'll do it very soon, but not today. So there's lots of different breathing methods. The breathing method that we want to concentrate on is just being natural. You know, we just want to be natural with our breathing. Same as we want to be natural with when we want to balance the body. So in a Tai Chi sense, when we come to the feet together concept, the weight is even on both feet to begin with. And then when we change the weight, we bring the mind first into the other foot. We want to keep the connection, the head up. We want to keep feeling the back relaxed. We want to feel the hip open. We want to feel the knee open. We want to feel the ankle open. We then want to lift up, keeping the connection from the floor, knee, shoulder, head. And then step in. Good, and try again. So we don't want to go sink down and then lift up, because this is going to hurt. There is a feeling of sinking down, but it's not a physical movement. And this is what people find hard to grasp when they're learning balance. You can turn the foot out slightly. Again, when we begin a Tai Chi posture, that's not necessarily true. Normally, both of the feet are straight ahead. So you want to feel from the shoulder dropping into the hip. The head is up, the waist goes through the center of the knee. So it's not on the outside edge, it's through the very center of your body. Go through the center, shoulder, this part of the shoulder, not this outside part of the shoulder, but this part of the shoulder stays down, drops through, drops into the hip. Through the center of the hip, the socket rests in the center. Yeah, it doesn't sink down, but it's still relaxed. Through the center of the hip, through the center of the knee, through the center of the ankle, into the center of the foot. Okay, feel the ground, feel the top of your head, then lift up. And then step. Okay, and then here, as we change the weight, we soften, soften, soften. Weight is then even, and then we do the other side. So feeling everything like a tube going from the shoulder through your hip into the ground. Yeah, once you have that, feeling the foot connecting to the top of the head. When the head is connected, then you can lift the other side up. You're connected to the ground. Change. Land with the toes first, then the ball of the foot. Okay, then start to soften. Start to soften here. Start to soften a little bit more. Okay, do it again. So don't sink down like this. This makes the body lean as well. Okay, so we want to keep upright. Foot, knee, hip, shoulder, and then just bring your mind just above your head. I know I'm perfectly lined up with the cowboy hats. So, lifting. Stepping. Sinking down. And just practicing that, maybe just 3 times on each side. Just to get the concept into your mind of aligning everything. You know, whenever we have an alignment, the center of the knee drops through the center of your foot. Foot, hip, not the outside of the hip, but the very center of your hip. Follow the line up to the shoulder. Lift. Head is up. Everything else is sinking down. But nothing is locked. Okay. Okay, bring the feet together. Do a bit of butt lunging. 8 pieces of brocade. So we maintain our upright posture. Number 1. Okay, so now we're going to lift, step, change weight. 2, touch the ceiling or lift the sky. And you want to keep the elbows back, so here the chest opens. So not only are you working your liver and spleen, but you're opening your chest. And then down. And 2. and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6. Hold for a few seconds. Okay, and then come downwards. Cross the hands in front of your chest. Balance on one leg. Step out a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. And again, here, sinking down. If you look at your legs, they should be on a diagonal to the center of your foot. So the knees aren't collapsed in like this, and they're not pushed out like this. They're somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. Okay, turn the palm. Okay, keep the chest and the torso facing forwards. Draw your boat, number 1. And exhale. And 2. And exhale. And 3, inhale. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. And 6. Exhale. Swing the arm across, protecting the elbow. Change other side. So here you want to sink down a little bit. Again, keeping the tail drop, keeping the head up, and release. And 2. And release. 3. Release. 4. Release. 5. Release. 6. Release. Okay, dropping the hands, crossing the hands. Just bring the feet in a little bit. Hands come up. Hands come down. Turning to look over your shoulder to strengthen your stomach. Okay, 1. And back. Keep to the same side. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And change. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Lifting upwards. Bring the hands downwards. Okay, now one hand underneath, one hand on top. Holding the ball. Okay, rotation. Once, twice. Separate hands, separating heaven and earth. Exhale, we release. We sink a bit more into the floor, the spine drops. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. Okay, and then just changing the hands over, opposite hand underneath, and the hand on top. Rotation once, twice, open, and release, 2, and release, 3, and release, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and push up. And bring the hand over. 1 and 2. Bring the hand to back of the head. Turning. And forward slightly. Turn spine and kidney. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And swap hands over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, good. Hands come down, hands come up. Step a little bit wider. Bring the hands downwards to rest on the hips. Keep the posture upright to begin with. Over to one side. And 2. Keep the position of the knees over the center of the foot. 3. And change direction. 2. And 3. Change the hands to the whole ball. Dropping down. Doesn't matter which direction you go. 1. 2. 3. And change. 1, 2. And 3. Okay, good. And then bring the feet inwards slightly. Lifting the hands up. Pushing the hands out. Leaning forwards. Okay, bring the hands to the backs of the legs. Inhale. Focusing on the kidney. Exhale, release. And 2. Exhale. 3. Try and get a little bit lower each time. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. And 6. Exhale. Okay, lifting up. Lifting the hands up. Bring the hands down. Okay, now open. And the step slightly wider, but not too much. Spine drops down. Head is up. Hands rest on either side of your bottom of your rib cage. When we punch, straight forwards, open the hand, bring the hand back. 2, bring the hand back. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. So again, strengthening the liver. Loose and relaxed. No tension. One more on each side. And inwards. Okay, and then bring the feet together. Lift up. Draw the hands down. Okay, and keeping everything in alignment. Spine resting down, head upright. Okay, come up on the ball of your foot. And drop. Onto the heels. 2. And drop. 3. Drop. 4. Drop. 5. Drop. 6. Drop. Good. Okay. Lifting upwards. Bringing the hands over. Holding the triangle. So find your navel. Hands rest either side. Navel should be in the middle of the triangle. Okay, keep the posture upright, finding the relaxation within the posture. holding for 1 minute to 5 minutes max. When you've mastered the relaxation inside your body, then you can go for longer, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so here, notice inside your body. The barway point is lined up with your spine. That means the head is not tilted forwards like this, but the head is back. The chin is dropped ever so slightly. The jaw is loose. Feel the weight of the head drop down into that big bone at the back of your neck. Big bone drops down to your tailbone. Tailbone allows your waist to sink into your hips, hips to knees, knees to ankles, ankles to feet. And then check the shoulders, are nice and relaxed. There's a small gap underneath the armpit. The center of the shoulder lines up with the center of the hip, and they are closed together. Closed but open, if that makes sense. They connect together. Just feeling that alignment. Feeling the pelvis and the hips. If you were to visualize inside yourself from this part of your shoulder all the way down to your foot, like a copper tube, a hollow copper tube, or just a line all the way down, coming out of your foot into the earth. Which is the requirement of both sides of your body, not just one. Feeling the alignment, feeling the relaxation, letting the skin hang on your bones, letting the muscle hang on your bones, like you put on a coat. The coat just hangs there. You want the same feeling. And then gravity will take everything else. You don't have to focus on it. You just keep the muscles nice and loose and relaxed. Change your weight to one side. And step a little bit wider. Okay, and then we work on long Jin. Jin is relaxed and calm energy. J-I-N. Okay, so think of that relaxed, calm energy from the top of the head, through the tail, or into the big bone in the back of the neck, then into the between the shoulder blades, the base of the shoulder blades, not the top. And then from there, feel that drop into the tail, which drops into the sacrum, which drops into the hip, knee, connecting all the way down into the floor. I feel like running water going down into your feet. And if you get it right, this feeling can last just continuously, this continuously feeling of dropping down. Okay, now when you press on your feet and keep that same relaxation, still sinking, but press onto the feet slightly. Then you have the long Jin go up, out into the tips of the fingers. You might get sensations in your knees when you're doing this, and then release. Okay, so again, head up. Head drops into big bone at the back of your neck, drops into Ling Tai, through Ning Men, down into lumbar region, to tail, and then just let everything sink through, saturating down your legs into your feet, no tension. Press on the feet. Long Jin. And the Feeling that as the hands go forward, the body goes slightly back. And release. And do 3 times. Head is up. Okay, so base of the neck, where the big bone comes out, called Dardrate, big hammer. Okay, and then through Ling Tai, Ming Men, spine. Connect the points down to your feet, dropping, mind intention, press on the feet. And release. Okay, both this time. Song Gong number 4. So again, upright. Feeling the connections inside the body. This time I open the spine. One and two. And press. Opening the spine. One and two. Press. Six. Change hands. Press on feet. Change hands. Press on feet. And go back. Okay, here, fold as best you can. And all the muscles release. Head, neck, shoulders. Okay, swing from the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pause. Just come up slightly. Waist. Okay, pause. Okay, straighten the legs a little bit. Straighten but don't lock. Okay, now rib cage. Okay, good. Hang. Squat a little bit. Press. And rise. Good, okay. Good, moving around a little bit. Okay, so we start, or end how we begin, with this expansion, contraction. Inhaling through into the abdomen. Inhale. Exhale. Push the diaphragm down. Just expand, drop the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5. Again, don't drop down too much. Just feel that connection all the way down to the feet. Good, and in. Okay, so holding this position, see where my elbows are, see where my shoulders are. Head up, tail drops down. And that head. Large Ling tight, Ling men. Tailbone. Through the legs down to the feet. Feel it. Don't externally do it. First of our holding postures is the earth position. For the line from the shoulder, connect to the hip. Okay, good. Release. Fairly close together without the ankles or the knees touching. Inhale. Exhale. 2. 3. 5. And 6. Okay, and then from the feet. So from the heels, tailbone, center of the back, top of the head, and down, shoulders to wrists, down the front of the body, separate down both the legs, and begin again. Back down the front, shoulders to wrists, and then from chest all the way down to the feet. And then one more. Good, well done everyone. We will finish there for today. Right hand, left hand. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you on Wednesday. Some of you I'll see tonight. If you have any requests, please let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate what you need and require. Thank you very much.